When we talk about bone fractures after 70, most people focus on the fall. But here's a quiet truth no one says out loud. It's not the fall that breaks the bone. It's the fact that the bone was already fragile long before the fall ever happened. And the more we ignore that truth, the more vulnerable we become, day by day, meal by meal. You see, your bones aren't just hard structures hidden beneath the skin. They're living tissue. They respond to how you move, how you rest, and yes, how you eat. After the age of 60 or 70, bone loss begins to accelerate. We absorb less calcium. We produce less vitamin D. Hormones shift, especially for women post-menopause. Muscle mass declines, leaving bones without the usual stimulation to stay strong. But what many people don't realize is that certain foods we eat every day might be silently weakening our bones even further. Not in obvious ways, not overnight, but slowly, quietly, like water eroding stone. You might feel fine. You might think, I haven't broken anything yet, so I must be okay. But bone loss is often invisible until it's not. Until that one moment you slip in the kitchen or miss a step, and suddenly life changes. So here's the good news. You're not helpless. You don't need to fear every movement. You don't even need to follow a complicated diet. You simply need to know which foods are making your bones weaker and begin removing them one by one. This video isn't about blaming your past habits. It's about giving you the knowledge to make new choices, ones that help your bones stay dense, resilient, and ready to carry you through the years ahead. Because yes, even after 70, your body is still listening. It still wants to repair. And the first step is knowing what to stop feeding it. Let's gently walk through the top foods that silently weaken your bones after 70 and understand why removing them could make all the difference. You might not feel it yet, but every day, with every bite, your bones are either being nourished or slowly drained of strength. And after 70, that difference matters more than ever. Here are 7 common foods and drinks that may be silently weakening your bones, along with gentle suggestions for what to do instead. 1. High-sodium foods. Too much salt. Salt is everywhere, in canned soups, deli meats, pickles, soy sauce, and even your favorite crackers. But here's the hidden danger. The more sodium you consume, the more calcium your body flushes out through urine. And for older adults, that's calcium your bones can't afford to lose. What to do instead? Read labels. Choose low sodium or no added salt versions. Use herbs and lemon to flavor your food instead of salt. Cook more at home, where you control the seasoning. Even a small reduction in salt can have a big impact on your bones. 2. Refined sugar. Sugar doesn't just harm your teeth and blood sugar. It also increases inflammation, which disrupts the balance of bone-building cells. It also competes with the absorption of magnesium and calcium, both essential for bone strength. What to avoid? Sugary breakfast cereals, candy, cakes, and cookies, sweetened drinks, including fruit juices. What to try instead? Naturally sweet fruits like dates, pears, or apples. A square of dark chocolate in moderation, cinnamon or vanilla for flavor. 3. Too much caffeine. Caffeine can interfere with calcium absorption, especially when consumed in large quantities. This doesn't mean you must give up coffee forever, but moderation matters. How much is too much? More than 3 cups of strong coffee per day may begin to affect your bones. And if your calcium intake is already low, the impact is stronger. What to try instead? Switch to green tea or barley tea. Alternate coffee with herbal infusions. If you love coffee, enjoy it with calcium-rich meals like yogurt or tofu to balance the effect. Alcohol. Excessive alcohol can slow down your body's ability to build new bone and may disrupt hormones that protect bone density. Regular drinking can also impair balance and coordination, increasing your risk of falls. What to aim for? No more than 1 small drink per day, if any. Choose dry red wine over beer or spirits and drink with food. Replace the habit with calming herbal teas or warm lemon water in the evening. Soft drinks. especially colas. Colas contain phosphoric acid, which disrupts the calcium-phosphorus balance in the body. Studies have linked frequent cola consumption with lower bone mineral density, especially in older women. And it's not just the sugar, it's the acid load that matters. What to drink instead? Water with lemon or cucumber, iced herbal tea, sparkling water with a splash of 100% fruit juice. 6. Excess animal protein, especially processed meats. A high-protein diet from animal sources, especially red or processed meats, can make the blood more acidic. To neutralize this, your body may pull calcium from your bones. What to reduce? Bacon, sausage, ham, and heavily salted meats, large portions of red meat. What to eat instead? Plant proteins, lentils, tofu, beans, tempeh. Small portions of fish or skinless chicken. Balanced meals with vegetables and whole grains. 7. High oxalate foods, if eaten the wrong way. Some healthy foods like spinach, rhubarb, and beet greens are high in oxalates, which can bind to calcium and prevent absorption. They're not bad, but it's best not to eat them with your main source of calcium. What to do instead? Don't pair high oxalate greens with dairy or calcium supplements. Eat spinach in moderation and vary your greens like kale, bok choy, or mustard greens. Steam or boil oxalate-rich foods to reduce their impact and work free of board. These foods don't harm you overnight, but over time, they slowly erode your bone strength, just like water-shaped stone. And you don't need to cut them out completely. You simply need to be aware and begin choosing differently. Now that you know what to avoid, let's explore the small, powerful changes you can make today. Foods and habits that quietly build bone strength, day by day, even after 70. Now that you know what silently weakens your bones, let's shift our focus to something more hopeful. What quietly strengthens them? Day by day, meal by meal. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to follow a strict bone diet. What your body needs most right now is consistency, small steps, and compassion. Here are some gentle habits you can begin this week to support your bones, without stress, without confusion, and without fear. 1. Start your day with a bone-loving breakfast. Skip the sugary cereal or toast. Instead, try a bowl of plain oatmeal topped with almonds, chia seeds, and a splash of fortified almond milk. Or a warm miso soup with tofu and greens, like in traditional Japanese breakfasts. A boiled egg paired with a side of sautéed kale or bok choy. Each of these options gives your body magnesium, calcium, vitamin K, and protein, all essential for maintaining bone structure and density. Tip: add a morning walk in the sun, 10 to 15 minutes, to gently boost vitamin D. 2. Replace the coffee refills with tea that heals. Instead of 3 cups of strong coffee, switch your second or third cup for barley tea, mugicha, caffeine-free and rich in antioxidants. Low-caffeine green tea supports bone metabolism and reduces inflammation. Nettle tea or horsetail tea, both used in herbal medicine to support calcium retention. Bone health is about supporting the body without overstimulating it. Tea offers that balance. 3. Add leafy greens to every lunch and dinner. Dark leafy greens like kale, collards, mustard greens, bok choy, and broccoli are calcium-rich, and their calcium is often easier to absorb than from dairy. You don't need a giant salad. Just add a small side dish of steamed or stir-fried greens. Sprinkle with sesame seeds or a drizzle of olive oil and lemon, and rotate your greens to avoid excess oxalates from spinach. 4. Embrace fermented foods for gut-driven bone health. It may surprise you, but your gut plays a major role in how well your body absorbs calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Fermented foods help nourish the gut microbiome, creating the environment your bones need to thrive. Try 1 small serving daily of miso paste in soup or sauces, plain unsweetened yogurt, natural sauerkraut or fermented pickles, kefir or tempeh. Start slow, especially if your digestion is sensitive. 5. Build bone with movement, not just minerals. Even the perfect diet needs movement to turn nutrients into stronger bones. You don't need weights or gyms. Just 20 to 30 minutes of daily walking, gentle yoga, tai chi, or light resistance exercises, like standing up from a chair repeatedly, can stimulate bone growth and preserve density. Tip: balance exercises are just as important, because the best way to prevent a fracture is to prevent the fall. 6. Make magnesium a priority. Most people think of calcium, but magnesium is the quiet mineral that helps calcium do its job. You can find it in pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, avocados, dark leafy greens. If your digestion is weak or you take certain medications, you may want to talk to your doctor about low-dose magnesium supplements. 7. Let your meals be calm, not rushed. It may sound simple, but eating slowly, chewing well, and sitting down without distractions can improve absorption, reduce inflammation, and help your body use every bit of the food you give it. When you eat in peace, your bones listen. They rebuild not just from nutrients, but from the state you're in while receiving them. Your bones are not fragile because you are old. They're fragile when they are forgotten. And with just a few quiet shifts each day, you can remind them, I haven't given up on you. Let's close this video with one gentle reflection. You don't need the bones of a 20-year-old. You just need bones that are strong enough to carry you into your next chapter, with dignity, balance, and joy. At 70, 75, or even 85, you don't need the body of your younger years. You don't need to run, jump, or carry groceries like you used to. But you do need to stand up from a chair without fear, to walk down the hallway with balance, to reach for something high without wondering if you'll fall, to keep living on your own terms without the silent anxiety of a fracture changing everything. Strong bones are not about youth. They're about freedom. And that freedom comes not from one big change, but from 100 quiet decisions you make each week. Swapping a salty soup for a homemade broth, saying no to the second soda, drinking a warm tea instead of pouring another cup of coffee, sitting in the sun for 10 quiet minutes each morning, and most of all, believing that your bones are still listening, because they are. They may be older, but they are not done, just like you. If this video touched something inside you, if it reminded you of how much strength still lives in your bones, I invite you to share your commitment in the comments. Something simple, like, I'm replacing my soda with tea this week. I will eat more greens for my bones. Your words may gently inspire someone else. And sometimes, knowing you're not alone in this journey is the very thing that keeps you going. And if you'd like more content like this, content that honors your age, your story, and your quiet power, please subscribe to Golden Pathways. Here we don't chase youth. We nourish what still lives within us, and we walk gently toward the years ahead with strength that's deeper than bone.